This is for my nice girls. My pushovers, my people pleasers, my doormats, my martyrs. Sounds awful, I know, but it's true. You know it's an act, right? You know it, and I know it, and I know it because I was a nice girl for the majority of my life, until I got tired of being taken for granted, being abused, being hurt, and burning out. And I realized, you know what, something's gotta change, because they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I did, and you know what I did? I spent time with myself, and I got myself some boundaries. And my life has dramatically improved. And here's the thing. I am aware that stepping out of people pleasing, stepping out of that nice girl routine is very scary. Why? Because we have been taught and conditioned that in order for us to be liked and chosen and accepted and loved, we need to be nice girls. We need to be agreeable. We need to be submissive. And that's such a lie. And it has really set us up for a life of pain and hurt and danger, really. So what I will say to you is that yes, stepping out of the nice girl routine and spending time with yourself and learning yourself and learning what your boundaries are and learning how to communicate them and assert them is scary. I get that, and I want to validate that, and I know how scary it is to feel like now you're going to be by yourself, right? People are going to reject you. The fear of rejection is so real, and I want to validate that again. But here's the deal. I've learned that the only people who have benefited from me not having any boundaries were those who were very much using me. And the people who were using me don't deserve a place in my life. I read somewhere that says that the only people that are going to object to you getting boundaries are those who have benefited from you not having any. So we don't really care if we lose those people, right? Because they are not helpful. They're not good to us. Now, you're not going to lose everybody. There are people in your life who will want to learn how to care for you, how to love you as you change. Those people are precious. And I'm going to talk more about how we handle those relationships, because it's not always a smooth road, right? Whenever there's change, people need to learn to adapt to that, and it's rocky, but it's doable. That being said, there will be people who will completely reject your new standards and the new you. And to those people, we say good riddance. They don't deserve a space in your life, nor do you need them. And you know what the most beautiful thing is? Is that as you get comfortable being yourself and not putting on an act to be, liked, then you start attracting to yourself people who love you and care for you and enjoy you just for being who you are, and not for what you can do for them, and not for how you make them feel. And that is a really beautiful thing. That is freedom. And I guarantee you, so worth it. So I know it's scary. The journey is not easy. And it might take some time. And that's okay. I promise you it's worth it.
Me being scared that I'll come off mean has led to more people being mean to me. I truly feel like people can smell the fear on you, the fear of angering and making someone upset. People can smell the people pleaser on you. That weakness will attract narcissists who are looking for people to get away with treating badly. Hi, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name's Malaysia, and this channel is to help women to create their best life and become their best self. If you're on a path of creating your best life or becoming your best self, or you want to start your journey of becoming your best self and creating your best life, then subscribe to join my magical side of YouTube and like this video, because we're going to get into it. We're going to get into nice girl syndrome. Do you guys like this nature backdrop? Lately I've just been like filming in nature. I think it's a vibe. If it's a vibe like this video, I'm vibing with it, except for when I see a bug, which happens often. What you allow continues most times, if not get worse and escalates. into more issues. And saying something now, saying something prior, saying something in the beginning is a lot better than waiting until you've built up anger and resentment and frustration towards something that you've been allowing for a long period of time. You're gonna have to say something eventually, so why set yourself up to explode and not even effectively communicate your boundaries due to built up emotion?
How do you know if you are suffering from good girl syndrome? Now, good girl syndrome is underneath sort of this umbrella, if you will, of people pleasing. But what makes it specifically stand out? I have a list of 13 different things. If you answer yes to a lot of these, then you really want to explore how good girl syndrome is showing up in your life. The first sign is worrying if you're disappointing people or if you're just a disappointment. Second is not wanting to take up space. Third is assuming somebody else's emotions or moods are your fault. 4, you minimize your wins or successes. 5, you have shame around sex or money. 6, you are actually disconnected from your desire, from the pleasures in life and all around your feminine energy. 7, you often feel like you have to act a certain way to be liked and included. The 8th sign is you have an automatic yes gut response whenever somebody asks you for something. Kind of like you're agreeing to things on autopilot. The 9th sign is actually the flip side of this. You have an automatic no response anytime somebody offers to help you. 8th sign is that you sugarcoat feedback and try really hard to make criticism seem nice. The 11th sign is over apologizing. The 12th sign is you deflect praise or compliments, like you do not know how to receive them, and you might say things like, oh, it wasn't me, it was this person, or oh, you're just being nice. And finally, when somebody does ask you what you want, you ask for the least amount possible and water down your requests so they be the least inconvenient for people.
I think most of us were conditioned as little girls to be nice, to smile, to not share our true emotions and opinions, which isn't the best approach to take as an adult, or at all, really. Communication is key. And if you were shamed as a child for communicating something you didn't like, something you didn't want to do, an opinion that other people didn't agree on, your parents didn't agree on, maybe it could lead to us being afraid to communicate things as an adult, or thinking that communicating things that may upset people or anger people is wrong when it's needed. So something that has helped me is identifying the things I no longer want to allow in all aspects, in all areas of my life. Things I no longer want to allow when dating and friendships, with family, at work and business, with my clients, even with strangers. And I've created a worksheet for you so you can too. Completely free. You don't have to sign up with your email or fill out a sign up. I will leave the Google Doc of the worksheet pinned at the top of the comments and also in the description for you. You just have to make your own copy so you can edit it. And in it, you can go in and clarify all those aspects of your life where you no longer want to allow certain things, so you can start clearly communicating to people that. This worksheet is going to help you to clarify what you need more boundaries around. And I want to add, I have to add this. Not everyone's going to react well to you suddenly having new boundaries. And it is a very painful process seeing who exactly doesn't want to F with you anymore because you have boundaries. It's really disheartening when you develop more self-respect for yourself and you create these boundaries to protect your peace. And there's certain people in your life that are just like, you know what? That's too much for me. I'm too used to being able to do these things that upset you, and I'm not willing to do at work to stay in your life, so I'm gonna leave. That may happen, and it's really painful, so prepare for that. And sometimes it's the closest people to you, unfortunately. Also, something I want to add on to this discussion is suggesting and hinting is not effectively communicating your boundaries. And I feel like when you have nice girl syndrome, or you're a people pleaser or recovering people pleaser, we tend to take that route when communicating our boundaries. We will suggest, hey, wouldn't it be nice if like you respect me? Like, how about we not use my stuff without asking? And then when no one takes the hint or the suggestion, now we're angry and feeling disrespected when you're the one who didn't communicate those boundaries clearly. Boundaries are something that's firm, something that's clear, not a suggestion, not hints. You have to be clear. in order for people to clearly understand you and what you don't want to deal with. Instead of saying, do you want to, I was thinking, how about we, say clearly, I'm not comfortable with this, so I won't be doing that. I need you to do this because of this. I will not be doing that because I don't want to, and I don't see myself changing my mind on it. And I know, I am a recovering people pleaser. I know how stressful it can be to think about how people will react to you suddenly being like, you know what, actually, no. But by not beating around the bush about it, by effectively communicating what you don't want to deal with, what bothers you and makes you uncomfortable, people will actually like you more because there's no confusion. And people can sense when you're bothered. Even if you're really good at hiding it and you're smiling, the people that care for you and really love you, they can sense when you're bothered. And when you're pretending like you're not bothered, you're too scared to express what's bothering you, that doesn't just ruin your vibe, but it ruins the vibe of those around you who want you to have a good time too, who are walking on eggshells because they don't know where their eggs are, to not step on them. You are not a child anymore. You're not going to get in trouble for ruffling some feathers. Those who are meant to be in your life, like, yeah, you're going to have conflict here and there maybe, but those who want to be in your life will stay. So if someone decides to leave your life because you said, no, this makes me uncomfortable, I actually really don't like this actually really bothers me, do you really want someone like that in your life? I mean, personally, I don't. People who love you respect you, unless they're really, really emotionally damaged and need a lot of healing to understand how their actions are disrespecting people, which is a whole nother video. You will actually ruffle more feathers by not expressing how you feel and what's bothering you, because through that, you're building up resentment, and those emotions will slip out through a nasty comment, sideways comment, or a nasty look. Those nasty looks will slip and people will catch on to it, and then you will become the problem. You will be perceived as being fake because you are being fake. You're faking that everything's okay when it's not. You cannot solve a problem if you do not communicate it so it can be solved. Also, when we hold on to our emotions, it could lead to physical complications as well as mental complications long term. So overall, it's just not good for you to be a people pleaser and have nice girl syndrome. Even though we are conditioned, most of us are conditioned to be this way, we can uncondition ourselves, develop boundaries, learn how to say no, learn to not feel bad about saying no, learn how to not feel bad about having boundaries. There's levels to this shit. Brick by brick, it's worth the work. Is your health long term worth sacrificing for the sake of not upsetting anyone? For the sake of not ruffling feathers? Is your health long-term, your mental health long-term, worth trading for the sake of being liked? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, no matter what you do, there's gonna be people that don't like you, so you might as well just be yourself.
If you're a highly sensitive, sweet, nice person, I'm gonna say this once, so listen up. Do not waste this life catering and people pleasing to other people in order to be liked and in order to fit in. As far as we know, you got this one life that you're living right now. You came here with the one mission that you're supposed to be living out right now. You do not have time to get distracted. You do not have time to be off track for the sake of other people. Every single human on this earth is capable. So you can take your cape off, okay? You have intuition, you have gifts, you have nudges, and you know what it is that you are supposed to be doing. Just because the people around you do not understand does not mean that you do not move your feet. Like I said, this is the one life that you know that you have. Do not fumble it for somebody else. They have their one life too. You get to live yours, they get to live theirs. You get to use your intuition, they get to use theirs, or not if they choose not to. You have a big heart and you have access to God, and so do they, honey. You don't have to save nobody else's life. This is your message. Take off the cape. You are not a superhero. And there are actual people who need your help, who are looking for your help, who want your help, that will not get it if you keep trying to force it down the throats of people who don't want it and who don't appreciate it. Go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated.
A book that I highly recommend reading that I enjoyed is Not Nice. I know the title may sound silly, but it has activities for you to do to work on your nice girl syndrome and your people pleasing, and it literally changed my life. I didn't even finish reading the book because, you know, I'm a book hopper. But I read the majority of it and it really, really helped me. And I truly believe it can help you if you're willing to do that work to help yourself. Share with me in the comments a time where people pleasing has backfired. And if you're no longer a people pleaser, if you've healed your nice girl syndrome, share with me in the comments, how has that impacted your life? I'll leave my experience in the comments as well. And before I go, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. Share this to someone who has people pleasing tendencies and could greatly benefit from learning how to heal their nice girls, or maybe nice guy syndrome. It's not just nice girls, it applies to all genders. Send this to whoever could benefit from healing their people pleasing tendencies. You can also share my worksheet with anyone you'd like with the video, and I will see you in the next one.